Later today, President Obama meets with House Republican leaders 2 days after he called for an end to partisan bickering in his State of the Union address. The GOP has been emboldened by recent election victories, and the president will need their cooperation in getting his agenda passed. And for more now, we're joined by David Mark, senior editor for Politico. Good morning, David.
Good morning. Good to be here.
President Obama at times had a more joking tone, not only to Republicans but to Democrats about partisan behavior, but at other times he was really serious. Does he have a shot at changing politics as usual in Washington, or is this all for show?
It's a real long shot. So far, there's no real evidence the president has been able to change business as usual. The president talked about extending his hand to Republicans. He specifically chastised Senate Republicans for filibustering the bills that he wants to get through. He also talked about something that is probably going to upset each and every member of Congress, which would be publicizing lobbyist contacts with members of Congress, who they actually talk to during the day. That's not going to go over well even with Democrats, let alone Republicans.
What about this meeting? Does it have a chance of making a real difference?
It's possible. It depends what the president's strategy is on, say, health care, where Democratic leaders are still trying to figure out how to get a bill through. Right now, they do not have the votes to get a Democratic-leaning bill through. So the president may very well need Republicans. He may have to incorporate some of their ideas. Also, during his State of the Union speech, he did talk about some Republican ideas like offshore drilling for oil or the use of nuclear power. So it's not like he's completely opposed to their agenda.
During this speech, you could not miss the justices sitting in the front, the Supreme Court. They were chastised at one point by President Obama for their recent decision on elections and finance. What are the possibilities for Congress making a real change in their decision?
It's possible that Congress could try and push through a series of laws. One would be like what President Obama proposed, saying that foreign nationals could not give to U.S. campaigns, or saying shareholders have to approve any political endorsements. That's a long shot, though, to get a majority of the House and Senate to approve that. Frankly, it's not clear that there's much Congress can do, because even if they did pass a new law, the Supreme Court could very well strike that down in the not-too-distant future.
There was a very open gesture from President Obama in talking about the don't ask, don't tell policy. How did that go over with military brass, and what can we expect to happen in that department?
The military brass did not look none too pleased. The gesture from Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito has gotten a lot of notice, but I was watching what the generals and the Joint Chiefs of Staff were doing. They were essentially sitting there in stone-cold silence. They, of course, have tussled with past presidents over this policy. It's not that all of them are necessarily opposed to it, but they probably don't want it negotiated out in public. They want it done behind the scenes between the White House and the military negotiators.
And President Obama spent about the first 30 minutes or so focusing on jobs and his plan moving forward. Do you think that the plan that he proposed is going to be effective?
It's an open question right now. Republicans would say absolutely not. There's no evidence that these kind of jobs bills, these stimulus programs work. Democrats clearly have a different view, and they, from what the folks I'm hearing on Capitol Hill, they're looking to spend upwards of $80 billion or so on this. If the president could point this and direct this into jobs that would be hired immediately, whether on the federal government payroll or the private sector, that would probably help him out a whole lot, particularly closer to Election Day.
Absolutely. All right. David Mark from Politico. David, as always, thanks for being with us.
My pleasure.